Hello again and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse here and I am back for a quick bonus video update again for you today. I know we did one just for the 4th of July here, but Nintendo went ahead and said, yeah, we're not even on E3 anymore, but guess what? Happy Tuesday, everybody. They just announced the Nintendo Switch OLED model. Now, this is not a Switch Pro like many people were hoping or anticipating. This is not a 4K Switch or anything like that. Basically, it's pretty much, from what I can tell, the same internals, processor, and everything as the original Switch, but we are getting a few quality of life improvements that may really be helpful for some people, potentially myself included. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We're on the Nintendo website here that shows this thing off. I checked my social media this morning and went, oh, that was kind of an interesting surprise. So I'm not going to play the little bit over 2 minute trailer. It's basically a similar trailer to what they did when they unveiled the original Switch. Not near as catchy of a song, but they show different people in different environments and situations playing it and everything. You can check that out. It's everywhere on the internet, including on Nintendo's own website here. The biggest thing we've got here is now we're going to have, as the system title would imply, a 7-inch OLED model. So OLED, if you've used a PS Vita, PlayStation Vita, or if you have an OLED phone, you know these screens are very crisp, very sharp. The colors, the contrast, everything just pops. So I forget what the dimensions of the original Switch is, but it's like, I think it's somewhere between like 5 and 6. So a 7-inch screen, a little smaller bezel. That potentially, as a low vision user, could be helpful. That might just be enough to make some of the text a little bit nicer to read, a little bit easier to read. That is one reason I am kind of considering an upgrade if I can figure out what to do with my old Switch. So we will see. By the way, this Switch is coming out on October 8th, the same day as Metroid Dread. So that game is going to, I guess, be enhanced for this particular edition. So the colors are really going to pop for that. But yes, a 7-inch OLED screen. That I am very intrigued about. So the next thing they've got here is, remember on the original Switch, the flimsy, just chintzy kickstand they had in the back. Like, you look at that funny, you think that thing is going to break. Looks like they're going for this Microsoft Surface style of tablet stand here, and it goes all the way across the back, as you can see. And it looks a lot more sturdy. I like that design a heck of a lot better. And the next thing here, you can choose it at all kinds of different angles, so that's really good. I'm like that. With my Surface Go, I really like that kind of kickstand. It's kind of a neat way to do the tablet. The dock itself has an Ethernet port now, which is good. You could do this if you bought like a USB adapter, a USB to Ethernet adapter on the original Switch. I think you could make that work. But if you want it natively in your dock, that can be a thing. And you get double the internal storage, 64 gig. Woohoo! I mean, that seems just laughably tiny, even doubling it. The current one has 32 gigs. Well, we now have 64 gigs, along with the micro SD card expansion that it's had. So, it's always nice to have more onboard memory, onboard storage, but I don't know. I mean, Nintendo games generally aren't near as resource greedy as, your 4K HD, all this kind of stuff on the PS5, Xbox consoles. So, I don't know. I mean, I've got a lot of games, especially a lot of like retro collections and indie titles, some first-party Nintendo stuff on my Switch, and I haven't run out of memory yet, although I have deleted a few things that I don't really play that often. So there's that. You have enhanced sound or enhanced audio. So I don't know. Better speakers, I guess. I don't necessarily know. That's kind of hard to know how much better the sound is going to be from the original Switch. Maybe a little bit. I mean, it's still going to be a little tablet, so I'm not expecting anything groundbreaking. But hey, you know what? If you're playing it in handheld mode, better audio in addition to better video is always a good thing. Three modes in one. So yeah, you got your handheld, your docked, and then your kind of tablety mode. So you've got a few different angles. They really focused in the trailer and on the website here. They focus on these white Joy-Cons, like the white model. So you've got a white dock, the white Joy-Cons, and everything. But they do also have a traditional gray Switch OLED model with the red and blue Joy-Cons, like you'll see right about here. They kind of say there's just some different colors. So you can get the white or the traditional gray and then red and blue Joy-Cons. If I were going to get one, that would be the model that I would go. I'm not really a huge fan of the white, just in consoles in general or electronics in general. Just white, it shows up every kind of dirt or anything like that. So I generally am not a big fan of the white bezels, white consoles, anything like that. And that's really the main upgrades for the system. I mean, like I said, it is not a 4K system. See, there you go. You've got the white, and then you've got the gray and the red and blue Joy-Cons. So you see both of them there. Cool, cool. $350. $350. So it's about $50 more expensive than the original model, or was it $250 or $300? I don't even remember what the heck the original one costs anymore. $250, $300, whatever it is, but it's $350. So, for the OLED screen and everything, that's not terrible. I don't think that's really so bad. I mean, the storage is still small when you look at like other things or, terabytes or stuff like that, but 64 gigs still seems kind of laughably small. But at least they do give you the micro SD storage option. So that is the new Nintendo Switch OLED model, $350, October 8th. And I did do a little bit of other research because there were a few questions that I had. One being, is there going to be any processor bump? Like I said, this is not a Switch Pro. This is not going to be, from what I can tell, any sort of major processor enhancement or anything. I know even on the current Switch, some of the games have a little bit of an issue running at a steady frame rate. So I was hoping it would be like when they upgraded one of the 3DS models and they added that model with the little second analog nub, where they increased the processor just a little bit and they would say, oh, well, this game runs better on this new DS, but you can still run it on the original. That's sort of what I was hoping for this OLED model, because I don't care about 4K. If I can run something on a crisp, clear screen at 720p, 1080p, they're not updating the resolution, it looks like, on this system. So in handheld mode, you're still going to get 720p, but you're going to get it on this larger, crisper OLED screen. You're going to get 1080p in docked mode, which is fine. I'm totally fine with that. I don't even have anything beyond a 1080p TV, so I'm fine with that. That's perfectly acceptable for me. But what I did also check into is all of the accessories that you currently own, if you have a Switch already, will work with the new one. So you got Joy-Cons, you got any specialized controllers. Like I've got those those larger, not Joy-Cons, but like larger controllers that I reviewed. I can't remember the name of them, but they make the system much, much more comfortable for me to play. In handheld mode, those should work. Any sort of adapters or anything, you should be good there. The only hardware that probably won't work is some of the Labo stuff, because the Labo where you put your actual Switch console into the cardboard. Well, that Labo is cut out exactly for that system design. So if this one is slightly bigger, that probably won't work. But I can't imagine that there's all that many people still playing with Labo long term. But like as far as all of your controllers and adapters and accessories, docks, all of those things should work. And the cool thing that I also appreciate is that they do say that you can use the docks interchangeably. So if you have, let's say, you live in a house and you want to use one dock upstairs, one downstairs, whatever, you can put your old Switch in this new dock, and vice versa. You can put the new Switch in the old dock for charging and playing in docked slash TV mode. So that I really do appreciate. And maybe you want to have a dock at home hooked up to your TV, but maybe you put a dock in your bag. So if you travel a lot and you want to hook it up to your TV in your hotel room or whatever, or when you go visit family, you can do that. So that I very much appreciate. They're not making all of your current hardware and investments in the Switch platform, they're not making those obsolete. So that I really do appreciate. Would I recommend getting one? If you are, especially if you are low vision and you don't have a Switch yet, I would definitely recommend waiting and get this model simply because it's going to be a larger and more crisp screen. I mean, like I said, if you've got a newer OLED phone, or if you've played a PlayStation Vita, you know how crisp and really good looking those screens are. Like, I would love to see Mario Odyssey, for instance, on that OLED screen. That's going to look really sharp. That's going to look really good. There's no processor jump from what it seems. There's no other major new features. They could add additional accessibility features, but I'm not going to hold my breath, at least in this generation. They gave us the zoom feature a while back, which I very, very much appreciate. But I don't necessarily see them adding, especially like with the processor that's in there right now. Like, if it already has trouble, like I could see maybe in the dashboard, but like in a game, like you probably need a beefier processor to make anything like that happen in game, and not lose some performance. So text to speech and stuff, yes, that could be a firmware update, but Nintendo being Nintendo, I don't I don't anticipate that being something happening in the near future. I would really love to be proven wrong. I would absolutely love to be proven wrong. So Nintendo, if you're listening, make it happen. We would love to see it. But this is just another kind of incremental update to the Switch platform, which is doing extremely well. I mean, especially if you love indie games, if you love being portable and docked, you have those use case situations. If you like retro collections, I mean, I've got loads of indie games, and I've got loads of like anything from Sega, Atari, Nintendo. You've got all these ways to play loads. Capcom, Konami, Street Fighter, Neo Geo. I'm just rattling off all of these different types of retro, games and collections that are on this system. So if you're into that type of play, especially if you want it in portable form, I mean, the Switch is an excellent console. I love it. I think it's definitely Nintendo's best form factor that they have done in a long time, and it's really what the Wii U should have been to begin with. So, if you don't have a Switch, I would definitely wait and get this one. If you do have one, I guess it really depends on how much you value the little bit larger, crisper screen, because that's going to be your major update. And if you are low vision, that might be enough to maybe push you over the edge, I guess for me, it depends on what I want to do with my old system. Like if I can get a friend interested in it, buying it off of me, or, if I can work out something with a friend of mine, I might consider it. But I'm on the fence right now. But part of me would kind of like to pick this one up because an OLED larger screen, especially when I'm playing it in handheld mode, which I do quite a bit, I would kind of appreciate that. So, especially with things being compatible with all of the old accessories, yeah, $350 is a bit, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm considering it. Like I said, with all the shortages and all the Windows 11 requirements, I've kind of pushed back upgrading my PC for a little longer until Windows 11 comes out because I want to make sure that I can take advantage of the storage stuff, have the requirement for that secure chip stuff that you need. So there's all that crap. This year, 2021, might be the year of the console, especially with Game Pass and everything, and for all the stuff projects I'm doing, and for the channel and everything. I might consider getting a Series X at some point if I can ever find one. This new Switch OLED model, I might consider it as well, depending on what I might be able to do with my current system. So there you go, guys. That is sort of a low vision take on the surprise announcement from Nintendo on the Nintendo Switch OLED model, October 8th, $350. Kind of a interesting consideration. And we're getting a Sony State of Play sometime this Thursday, which I will definitely have to check out. They're going to be doing a deep dive on oh, I just went stupid. What is the name of that game? Deathloop, which I'm very curious about. So who knows? Maybe we'll be able to stream that too. We will see. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like it if you did. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and right here on YouTube. So until next time, I will chat with you guys again later.